Okay, so this is a way too early to tell anything. BCL Season 4 cargo rundown prediction kind of video that I'm doing personally. Also has to do with my rankings and kind of how I expect things to look very early on when it's too early to tell. Here we have a list of last season's players, all of them. Everybody who was registered. The gold indicates that they're already confirmed to be playing that season. The green is likely to be playing that season. Purple is questionable, and red is doubtful or can't. So just to go over that real quick, I think that right now we've got Cricken, Man of Artigan, Spree, and Casual in the questionable. I'm gonna go ahead and move Casual to doubtful. Oh, I'm gonna make it match Tint's color here. I do think that it's doubtful for Casual to return this season. I think that he's got bigger things going on. He's very busy. We'll see if he makes it back, but I doubt it. I do think Cricken is likely. I'm going to leave him in questionable. I think Spree is likely. I'm going to leave him in questionable. I think Cassidy is likely. I'm going to leave him in questionable too. There has been some talks of retirement from him throughout the season. He's kind of fed up with things at times, but he's going to stay in questionable for now. I'm also going to move. Let's see what color this is first. I'm going to go ahead and move Paddy's to questionable. I know that the Australians wanted to make a team themselves, and the chances of that are pretty low if Paddy's isn't a captain, which I don't know if it will be or not. I think that Yoshi is definitely probably going to play. Slewed probably going to play. Well, I think we'll have these captains from last season returning, but no promises. Alien and Esper, I'm not sure about. We'll see. Everybody else is confirmed. So if we look down here, this is what this list looks like. These players are here are also confirmed, but I wasn't sure about any of them yet on where to put them, so I went ahead and held them out of here for now. We've got 40 players in total on this list, separated into just based on kind of where I have them roughly, not perfect, but roughly where I have them. This group would be the captains if everyone that I think is going to return does return. I think this group of 10 would be the captains. There's going to be 10 teams right now with 40 people registered. There's technically 44 people who I predict to be back right now. That'll make it 11 teams, but we're going to go with 10 for now because I'm not sure what those other players. 10 captains, 10 first-round picks, 10 second-round picks, and 10 third-round picks. And that's still, like I said, questionable, but we'll see. If we were to just do it like this, then Cricket would have the first overall pick. Pierce would have the last of the first, and the last pick in the draft as well. This order I've put it in is just if we were to take these guys directly from here and put them into the chart. So Freedom immediately goes to Cricket and Carnage here. You can see I'm at the top of the second round. Puffy at the top of the third round right here. So you can see I just kind of plugged them in immediately and not did any predictions. But right here, we're going to give a brief predictions of how I think the draft is going to go. Again, some of these players up here who are questionable, I've just kind of put them in here thinking that they'll be back. But you can see Patty's is in here, as well as Cassidy, Kirkin, Spree. I imagine they're going to be back. They could not be. It could surprise me, in which case these groups, these captains could drop a little bit. You can see these three up here become captains pretty easily. You can see Baker's become a captain again fairly easily. Hildingson become a captain fairly easily. But yeah, for now, we're going to go ahead and go with this prediction that I have right here for the captains. So we can do a little brief bracket prediction here. If we were to be in this situation where Cricken's on the board first and he's got all these picks on the board, I think he's going to take Baker's dozen. If I can spell right. Baker's right here with the first overall pick. So you'd have Baker's go off the board very, very early on. Fatality, I think he would come. He could go baseball here and bring back a former teammate. He could also go Hildingson here, who he's also played with before. But I think in this situation, I think he goes Hildingson right here. I think that they played together before. They both like each other a lot. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, I can't be certain that he's going to take him, but I think that the chances of him taking him are pretty likely. We're going to go and make these guys darker than the rest so I can kind of keep up with who went where. Scumsy here, he's got a couple choices as to who to take. I'm not. In last season, he took Cricken with the first overall pick, and I think that if he was in this situation right here, he might have taken Hildingson. But with Hildingson gone, presumably, I think that he's looking at a possible Pattis pick. He's looking at Freedom here. He could be looking at whatever Sam, baseball. I think these are the most probable ones for him. I don't think he goes Carnage here. I don't think he goes Miho or Yoshi here. So I think it's probably, we're going to give him, I think he goes baseball right here. Well, no, I think he goes Freedom right here. So I think Freedom goes off the board right there. Pretty good solid pick right there. Stuck picking right here. I think he's not going to hesitate to take Carnage right here. Europeans like to select Europeans. I think the chances of him taking one of the next two captains drafting to take a captain or take a European right there. Carnage is one of the highest ranked Europeans in my opinion right now, performing the best. I think Lunster follows that right up and takes Yoshi immediately with his pick, and so that would be all the top rated Europeans off the board early. Swaggy here, I think it's obvious he goes Pattis Boy right here. I don't think that there's any reason why he wouldn't. Pattis is a solid pickup, and he's played with him a couple times before, so pretty easy to see he's going to take him there. Now we've got all the Wrath guys left, and baseball left on the board here. So I feel like a lot of the captains are going to shy away from the Wrath players early on. Especially the more experienced players. So I do find it kind of difficult to think they're going to go in the first round. So I could see this group of players right here going at the end of the first and then immediately taking these players, not baseball included, but these three in the second round, top of the second round. So that's what we could end up seeing. It doesn't really matter which order we put them in because I think they go the same either way. But for now, we're going to go ahead and put it that way. I think T.O. right here, I think he goes with baseball. Pretty simple to pick baseball right here. I think it's a solid pickup. He performed well last season, and I don't think T.O. Is going to end up taking any of the Wrath members right here for sure. Cassidy, I think he might also have issues taking a Wrath member here, but like I said, for the sake of simplicity, I think that they could take these players, these top four of the second and the first round, and then take these guys. But just for simplicity, we're going to go ahead and say that he probably takes Ets whatever here, who I think is, if he's playing like he used to, is good value for this pick. Might be another Lunster pick for him. Spree, I don't think has any issues taking a Wrath member. I think he goes with Sim right here. Pretty simple. And then Beerus, like I said, this could be a second round pick, but I think Beerus takes Mio here. And that would be all the Wrath guys off the board now. So that's what our first round's looking like. We'd follow back up with Beerus again on the board. I'm not sure exactly which way he's going to go here. He could take Slood, he could take me, he could take Keys, Palmy. But I think having played with him last week, substituting for him, I think I go right here to Beerus. Spree going to follow that up immediately with, could be Keys here, could be, I think the best pick here is Keys, but does Spree take Keys here? Yeah, I think he does. I think he takes Keys immediately right there. I think Cassidy possibly takes Slood right here from last season to get a little bit of that former connection right there. He could take Palmy here. I think that's unlikely, but could happen. Right now, we're going to go and move these guys down here. Slood also going to go off the board. We're going to move him down. I mean, T.O., who just took baseball, I think he's going to go with Palmy here. I don't think he takes anybody he had in the first season, unless it's very good value for where he gets them. Swaggy right here, he's got a Nazi on his board. I think it's a no-brainer. He goes back to a Nazi here. Nazi definitely showed out in the first season. One of those fourth-rounder picks who was ended up being a very good value and ended up improving their draft stock. Lunster right here. I think we've got the Irish connection. I think he goes with Woody right here. It takes Woody off the board. Another European. I think the Europeans usually they like to draft Europeans. At least Hildingson did last season. I know that in the past, Stook and Lunster might be a little bit different, but I think that's what he goes with. Stook now at this spot. I think it's a little bit too early to reach for another European here. Oh, he's got overwhelmed. I think that's. Well, I don't know. He likes to have people talking with him. I think it's too early to reach down and take Puffy or Tryhard. But I think both of those are good picks, especially for cargo. Like I said, I think it's too early to take one of those now. So I think he's going to go with Colossus right here. That's Colossus off the board. I would say overwhelmed, but everyone doesn't use a mic, so. Which means Scumsy is going to be having this pick, and I think he takes overwhelmed right here. I think that's pretty simple. And then Fatality left with Seth and Zane. He's already got Hilding, so I think he goes Seth Nightblood right here. Jeez Louise. And then Kricken. I could see him reaching past Zane here, to be honest. So this is my ranking over here, pretty much, kind of similar to it. It's not perfect, like I said, but kind of what it is. But I could see him going. I could see Kricken going ahead and taking Puffy, and then following that right up with Tryhard after that. So which means Puffy would be the last pick of the first. And Tryhard would be the first pick of the last. Which means I think Zane's going to be good value to get here. Right here, he has Fatality would have both the siblings. So his team would be Fatality, Hodinson, Seth, and Zane. Both going to go off the board there. I think that's... Did I have there? Yeah. I think that's... I don't think I put the same color here. No, I guess I did. So, I think that's a pretty good pick there. Scumsy already has Freedom and Overwhelmed. I think... I could see him going Qui-Gon here, former teammate. Yeah, I think that's what he does right here. I think Scumsy goes with Qui-Gon right here. That's a pretty good pick for him. Already got the chemistry there. Already got a history there. Oh, I was using a different color this one. So yeah, I think Qui-Gon goes with the board there. Stook right here. He's got some European pick options to go with, but I'm not sure he takes them right here. He's got Day on his board still. With Alien being, in my opinion, the best Euro left on the board. He doesn't have Yoshi, so I think Yoshi is the chance that Diego gets taken ahead of people. So I could see Diego going a pick later. Alien and Stook were teammates. I don't think Alien is too bad, so I'm going to go ahead and say he takes Alien right here. He's already got the history with him. I think that's a pretty safe pick to take Alien right there. Now here I think Diego goes. Because of Yoshi on the team, they're friends. I think that could be safe to assume that Yoshi talks Lunster to taking Diego. And then Swaggy, I think he goes Lobster here. Reunite those two together. T.O. I mean, I think he goes Slope right here. I think it's very good value for where you're going to get him at. I think that if you get Slope at a low pick like that, is a pretty valuable pick. Cassidy, I think he goes... You got Uliday, Falco, and Nesper. I think he goes Uliday. I was thinking that Uliday could fall back to Spree at the second to last. But I just feel like if you got Uliday that low, I don't think you pass up on him, I think it's pretty unreasonable to let him slip that far and not take that pick. I think it is a bit of a stretch for Cassidy to take him, but if you get him at that value, I think you gotta go for it. Spree and Falco and Nesper are still on the board. I think that Spree goes with Falco and Beerus goes with Nesper to finish it out. So 1 second, and I'll give those teams to you again. So Cricken would have drafted Baker's Dozen, and he'd have Puffy and Tryhard. Pretty good team. I think there's not really a weak spot on the team. Very good players here. Fatality taking Hildingson, Seth, and Zane. Also, not really a weak spot. I think it's very good. It could be inconsistent at times. The whole team can be, I think. I'm not sure how they're going to perform in cargo, but I know Hildingson has cargo experience. I don't know. I think this team is good. I think they're like the inconsistency could be an issue on that team. Scumsy takes Freedom over and Qui-Gon. I think that a lot of it's gonna depend on Freedom and how consistent he's gonna be. Still taking Carnage, Colossus, and Alien. That's a pretty good team. Again, consistency in the bottom two is going to be an issue here. I'm not sure. I said we saw Colossus play lights out. We've seen him play poorly at times, but I think that I don't think he's hurt his draft stock too much, or really not much at all this season. Just other people have improved as well, so I don't think that based what he's done this season has been like so bad or anything that it's hurt his draft stock. I think he's still a very good pickup right there. Lunster taking Yoshi, Woody, and Diego. I think this is a pretty good team. What Diego can do in cargo is going to be a big question mark. But if Yoshi's willing to vouch for him at this pick, and that's why they take him, that's what I have. The reason I have them taking Diego here is because of Yoshi. So if Yoshi's willing to vouch for him here and convince Lunster to take Diego, then I think it's pretty safe to say that Diego's going to be at least decent at cargo. This could be a pretty good team. Woody has had some experience in the past playing competitive. He's taken a break for a little bit, but I think this is a pretty good team right here. Swaggy, Patties, Nazi, and Lobster. I think this is a pretty good team. It's all friends of Swaggy. Pretty good chemistry in this team. I think they have a pretty strong lineup. T.O. with Baseball, Palmy, and Slope. Not sure how scheduling is going to work out. Freedom and Palmy this time around. We'll see. I'm skeptical of it. I think it could be an issue. That's why I think he's a bit of a question mark in the tournament. But I think it's a pretty good team. You've got Baseball. Depends on how he can do as a consistency player. I think T.O. has traded to he went from Freedom to Baseball from last season to this season. I don't know how good Baseball is at cargo. He hasn't played competitive cargo yet, from what I know. And I think that consistency can be an issue for Freedom at times and for Baseball at times. So we'll see if T.O. If Baseball is consistent and holds up. I think if he does, then this team is very good. Getting Slope so low in the draft is a pretty good pick. But I do think he slips that far. I don't really think anybody else takes him early. I could see him going to Scumsy right here, in which case I think Qui-Gon goes in one of these picks right here. But yeah, I could see Slope going to one of these picks up here. But it's interesting. I think that's a good value for him. Really good value for him right here. This team with Cassidy has whatever Slood and Uliday. Slood, I'm interested to see how he does in cargo. I don't know. Uliday from RCP has good cargo IQ, so I think he's a good pickup here at this low. I think that's why Cassidy takes him here. He's just good value to get this low in the draft. That's whatever. It depends on how he is as how good he's playing these days. I mean, that's whatever I have. If he's playing good again, I have him right up here at the top of the first round. If he's not playing good, if he's like average now, then I think he's somewhere in here. So a lot of it will depend on him. Spree, Sim, Keys, and Falco. I think this is a pretty solid lineup. I don't really see these three. Not a lot of weaknesses here. I don't know how Sim is playing these days, but I mean he's been on scrimming a little bit, so I think he's still fresh and has not lost touch with the game or anything. So I think that this is a pretty good starting half of the lineup. Falco going to be interesting. I know that there might be some internal problems with that. We'll see. Falco does have some experience in scrim, so I think he's not just. I think it's good value to get him here. He's not just a complete waste of a pick down here. So I think he's going to be at least knowledgeable. Beerus, Miho, Hobo, and Nesper. I think that a lot of it's up to again how Miho is playing these days. These Wrath guys in the top in the first round, taking back to back, which I think that could go right here again. It could be these 3 picks here because these guys don't want to take. These guys don't want to take Wrath players, and then these 3 taken immediately after. So I mean, whatever way it's taken, I think that the picks end up the same no matter what. But yeah, that's what I think is gonna play out right here. It depends on how Miho's playing again. I'm not sure how these Wrath guys are playing now. We'll just have to see. That is a kind of a draft breakdown from me. It's way too early to tell. There's honestly no knowledge at all about what's going to happen in the tournament right now. This is just if it started today, what I think it would look like. There's definitely a lot that can happen between now and the start. We could see players drop out, new players come in. There's no telling. There could definitely be any combination of this right here, but this is just a way too early to tell. Preseason mock draft, and this is what it would look like if we just plugged them straight in. Plugged them straight into from these rankings over here. Again, we have some question marks in here. I think that Patty's and Nazi could drop out and not play. Manbardigan could drop out. Cricken could drop out. Spree is thought about dropping out. So these guys could be question marks. In which case, you've got the top of the first round right here becoming captains and everything, scooting up a couple picks. And then these guys, I don't know, they haven't confirmed yet. I imagine they'll be back. They're probable, but they could not be back. So a lot of question marks. But this is what we got for now. We're gonna go with that. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll do some more of these as we get some more information closer to the start of the tournament and see kind of what these rosters might look like.